You don't know what's out there.
That's why I would go.
Hi, and welcome back to Wild Dream, where we give you the freshest takes on the latest movies. My name is David.
And my name's Daniel.
And we are back with yet another installment of Wild Dream Pod, just for you.
And I'm furious, and I can't believe that this is happening, and I'm so upset right now, and I want to talk about it.
Okay, talk about it.
Sorry, I don't want to get into it.
You don't want to get into what?
I don't want to get into it. It's just a bunch of drama.
Yes, guys, we went to go see the latest A24 movie, The Drama.
I needed that head
The
cue.
Drama Mean.
I needed that head cue so bad.
The Drama Mean.
The Dramamine.
They shortened the title to just The Drama, but it is just about people taking Dramamine and not feeling car sick anymore.
Yeah, and it was all right. All right, and remember, if you want to get involved in the conversation, what did you think of this movie? What did you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it?
We watched a movie where Batman fucks Spider-Man's wife.
Whoa. Oh my God.
I don't know how that's happened like that.
My God.
Very scary, very scary. I was very scared for everybody.
It was actually very terrifying.
Actually very scary because Spider-Man's actually
a lot of people are not talking about it, but it was actually, I thought it was real for quite a while. Then about 50 minutes into the film, I was like, this is not a documentary. It's actually rather a narrative story is made of fiction. Ever heard of it? Maybe read a book once in a while.
No one said anything. You're the idiot who thought it was real.
Are we going to do an entire episode like that one day?
Hell no.
Oh, April Fool's next year.
Next year. Dude, I hate that April Fool's landed on a very important movie for us to do. And
I know, man.
Honestly, it's like I was already like, fuck, man, we're a week late. But you know what? Some people saw the movie already, whatever.
Yeah.
And then now, like, my entire fucking feed on everything has been Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Just nonstop.
Yeah. Has that happened to any of you guys listening? Y'all? I know we had a lot of people that watched that movie that listen. So, and all of them said it was good.
Yeah.
So
extremely important movie to do. We contemplated doing the entire review while chewing gum because the movie the episode was being released on April Fool's. So yeah, we thought that would be a funny prank.
But it's too important.
It's too important.
And we were really sick too. And that's
yeah. We already sounded like shit.
I was listening back to the episode. I was like, God, I was already doing this.
You can hear me because I couldn't breathe through my fucking nose.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear me breathing the whole movie. I swear I'm not like as fat as I sound. I'm fat. Don't get me wrong. I'm fat.
I'm fat
and ugly, but not as fat or ugly as you think I am.
Yeah, that was
based on the audio of my breath.
Yeah, it was funny listening back to that. We were very sick, and we're
not totally not sick either.
We're not. We're on the other side of it, but we're not quite out of it. And I was listening back to it. And I was thinking, man, it was such a weird thing because we were so jazzed about that movie. Like, we were just like, wow, what an experience. That was so, that was really good. But then we were also just so dead tired from how sick we were. Like, our energy was really low. Yeah. So it was a really interesting episode. I was listening back to it. I was like, this is kind of like a fever dream.
Yeah. I did tell you guys that I was going to go read the book and then let you guys know what I thought of the book.
That's right.
That is true. I did do that. If you're on our Instagram, you saw something I posted about that.
Yeah.
But for anybody, waiting to find out my review, I thought the book was really good. And I thought that it made the movie better to me. I think the movie was a very, very good adaptation. It's been all I've fucking seen on my feed for the last week or so. It's Project Hail Mary. I think partially because we went to go see the movie, then because I read the book, so now my phone is just like, you love this fucking movie.
Yeah, you bought tickets to see the movie.
I bought tickets to see the movie again because I was like, Taylor would really love this movie. For those of you who don't know Taylor, she loves space, like space and stars and all that stuff is like her favorite thing. Her whole arm is covered in space-themed tattoos. Mm-hmm. So I was like, there's no fucking chance she doesn't love this movie, And then she watched it and she was like, that was a really fucking good movie. And I was like, I told you were gonna like it. And like she was like,
Ryan Gosling is so fucking hot.
She was hesitant to go see it because of how long it was, and I was like, I promise you will not care at all by the end of that movie.
Right.
And she didn't. She loved. She gave it a fucking 10. It was funny because she was like, oh, it's so long. And I was like, didn't you see Oppenheimer twice?
I was about to say, she gave Oppenheimer like a 10 out of 10, didn't she?
She loved that movie, yeah.
And that was 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, wait, does Taylor like long movies?
Not in theory.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, the book was good. You enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. But this week we saw a different movie.
We sure did.
Okay, we saw a much more grounded movie.
We did. This
one doesn't take place in space. If you guys are only familiar with movies that take place in space, this one's not one of those.
This is not one of those.
One of the ones that takes place on Earth. And all of the characters are human.
But it involves people that maybe should have taken some space from each other. We'll get into why that is.
And
Including.
Zendaya is Meechee.
Zendaya's in this.
Yeah.
And for our generation, when someone mentions Zendaya, someone in the room will say, and Zendaya is Meechee.
That's right. It's an iconic meme. Zendaya is, in fact, Meechee, so I think that's really important to bring up. It's something that we need to acknowledge. We need a Zendaya is Meechee acknowledgement before we start the podcast. So let me just say, Zendaya is Meechee. And it is interesting. It is funny that you So I want to start here. I think it's great to bring up the cast because you got two leads that are pretty fucking huge, right? You have Robert Pattinson, Mr. Edward Cullen himself, Mr. Batman himself. I mean, he's played some absolutely iconic roles. Very big name.
Yep.
Then you have Zendaya, also a very big name from obviously her Disney days. Then she's really big from Euphoria, and she's now doing Marvel movies and stuff as well. So I say all that to say, I can't believe either of them, much less both of them, signed up to do this movie.
I kind of felt that too. I was like, this is a very like, it's not a movie you would typically think that some superstar actors and big name people are going to be in, which is kind of funny too because we saw a trailer for another A24 movie that has a ton of stars in it too. So yeah, I mean, people are itching to do these A24 movies, man. It's crazy. But yeah, this movie is one that I think it is not about what I thought it was going to be about. I was completely thrown off guard about what this movie is actually about based on, the promotional material that I saw.
Same.
And it was it is a very, very difficult movie to talk about spoiler free. I'm learning right now.
Here, can I shout out Mo real quick?
Let's shout out Mo.
I want to shout out Mo because I got a nice Mo's little sting. I texted him right out when I got out of the movie because he's my best friend and I love him. And I told him, I said, hey, have you heard of this movie, The Drama? And he said, I've heard mixed reviews. I'm not super stoked for it, but I'm going to go watch it. I said, it was not at all what I expected. He said, did you like it? I said, I am so serious when I say I don't know how to feel about it. And I said, we're about to go record, and I don't even know what I'm going to say. Yeah, and I'm curious if you feel similar of how odd.
Well, yeah, and I told Taylor about this on the way home. I was just like, I don't know what to say about this movie other than I don't know what to say about this movie. Like, I think the most important thing to get across is this movie was not about what I thought it was going to be about.
Right.
And it just came completely out of left field. And so, to give you guys like a spoiler-free review, okay, we can talk about the things that we liked and didn't like about the movie in general. I think that the acting in the movie is very good. I think that the editing is really good. I think that the comedy is the best part of the movie, which again, okay, let me explain this. Me telling you guys the best part about this movie is how funny it is the weirdest thing to come out of my mouth considering what this movie is about.
Exactly.
So it's like very, very difficult to review this movie.
Yes. If this is something that you've been thinking about seeing and you're not sure, don't listen to the spoiler talk.
Yeah. Just go watch it and then, yeah.
And I feel like this is a good weekend I would expect, this is one of the few weekends where I expect almost everyone to have seen this already, by the time this comes out, because I don't know any of my peers who want to go see the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, but that's if they go to the theaters at all.
That's also true, which I hope you do, because guess what? It's one of the points of us making this podcast is spreading the love of cinema.
That's right.
And it would be great for you guys to help us in our mission to keep those alive. Should we bring up the big news of, speaking of that, should we bring up the news of the
Yeah, the Alamo Draft House that we famously got kicked out of for being 1 minute late is striking right now. Their employees are going on strike. If you guys haven't heard about it, the Alamo Draft House has implemented a new thing where people are scanning QR codes and using an app to order all of their food and whatever. And they have been the no phones, no talking theater forever. Like you can tell a waiter or waitress to kick somebody out of the fucking movie if they're talking. So now they're like, you can be on your phone in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, you actually have to be on your phone in the middle of the movie.
Order all your stuff in the middle of the movie, but don't text when you're doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of issues that they have with it. I'm not going to be the voice of the people for a strike or a movement right now, but yeah, I mean, the theater industry is always in flux. Yeah. And Ryan Gosling, and Project Hail Mary has been promoted so much, and he has come out and said it is not y'all's responsibility to save the theaters; it's ours to make movies that bring you into the theater. Mm-hmm. So I agree with him on that.
I do too, and
sometimes that's Super Mario Bros. And that's okay too.
Sometimes, yeah, exactly. Like that should be an absolute hit movie for kids, like 100%. And
adults with autism.
And adults with autism, of course. Which we saw tons of kids at the theater today where it was crawling. I mean, so yeah. And like
I used to work at a movie theater. I joined that movie theater the weekend that Zootopia 1 came out. And that was a fucking nightmare.
Jesus Christ, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's just interesting that our very first episode, you go listen to it, it's our story about why we don't use Alamo Draft House anymore. So from the very beginning of this podcast, we were like forcibly anti Alamo Draft House, essentially. Yeah. And then now they are kind of shooting themselves in the foot, and it's like that you hate to see it because I don't want any of this. I'm not preying on Alamo Draft House's downfall at all. I want all those people to have jobs, and I want it to be a successful, livable wage job. And I can respect some ideals previously that were like, it's all about the movie, not you and your bullshit, and stay quiet. Well, I get it. So,
I mean, anyways. I never disliked that part of Alamo Draft House.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, we showed up less than 60 seconds late, or I showed up less than 60 seconds late, and you said there was only one other person in the theater.
Yeah, I think it was still on production companies, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, like, I don't even think the movie started rolling yet. Like, it's that kind of being late. So, yeah, really interesting what's happened. But I did want to bring that up just because it was kind of crazy news and how it relates to us and stuff and our experience. And just a little flash into like, oh, yeah, we've been doing this for 4 fucking years. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, that's actually wild. I totally forgot that happened on our first episode.
Yeah.
But yes, this movie, what else? The 2 characters have a really cool apartment. I can't really tell.
It's got a beautiful view.
It's really cool looking. It's got a nice view. I will say they love to have those windows open all the time. I'm someone who likes to walk around my house naked if I can. So I don't like the windows being open all the time and the blinds being open. But
disgusting.
These 2 people, I guess,
ew,
just put their clothes on all the time. Yeah.
I want to say that yes, it is very hard to talk about this movie spoiler free, but we're doing our best. I agree that the comedy was the best part. I think I give them props for even attempting what they do in this movie. It's very strange. There's some stuff that I just simply could not laugh at, and it made me uncomfortable. I felt very uncomfortable many, many times in this movie, and it's very rare to make me feel that way. I really do think this movie is very daring, and I think that it is an interesting concept. I think it creates a very interesting conversation around the premise
as well.
Yeah, very unique. You could really feel the voice of this creative team behind this, and yeah, I think this was a very original movie, and I think that it did create a lot of thoughts and opportunities for conversation and really put me out of my comfort zone. And that's why I'm excited to talk about it in spoiler talk so that we can talk about this, because we both just experienced this and haven't been able to say anything. And I'm curious to your experience in the movie as well, if you felt nearly as uncomfortable as me, and especially coming from your perspective of being someone who's not single. I'll say that too. I've talked about this many times on the podcast, like media that makes me so happy I'm single. This is one of them. I'm so happy that I'm single. So, and that's what keeps you afloat when you're reaching my age, you know?
Yeah.
You just, you need more reasons to be like, it's okay to be alone. There's pros, you know?
If anybody here either reads Reddit stories or listens to Reddit reading podcast, I think a good description of this movie is r/relationship advice, the movie, because this whole movie feels like something someone would write on Reddit, and it would go fucking crazy bonkers numbers.
Yeah.
And then people would go, this is AI, this is fake. No one, this didn't actually happen to you. And then you'd have to see the comments going, no, I swear this is real. And this is actually my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very, very interesting movie. Either way, good, bad, funny, uncomfortable, dark, scary, complicated, complex. You know, it is very unique and special in a lot of ways. Yeah, we can't talk about this movie spoiler free. That's it. We're going into spoiler talk.
I'll say too, it's filmed in a very interesting way that did not always click with me. It was very, very dreamlike. There was almost the entire runtime. This is very dreamlike, the way that this movie is shot and presented. Yeah, I think we just have to get into spoiler talk to really get into this movie. We tried our best. I hope that we gave you some kind of glimpse into our thoughts on the movie while not spoiling, and just, you know, to give the listeners a chance to say, is this something I want to see? So I've spoken my piece.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even going to do an intro to the spoiler alert. We're just going to start talking about spoilers, right? You guys ready?
We'll do it, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Spoiler alert. All right. Here's the rundown. It's a very simple movie.
It is a very simple movie.
It's a very simple movie.
Yeah.
You have these two characters, okay? Emma, is that her name?
Emma and Charlie.
Charlie. This is the one who bit his brother's finger.
Holy shit. So that makes...
Okay, so it actually changes everything.
That changes. Let's re-record the spoiler for you real quick.
Hi, and welcome back to Wild Dream. Robert Pattinson actually gets to be British for the first time in
Thank
his
goodness. I was actually excited about that. But yes, Robert Pattinson gets to do his own voice for what feels like the first time ever.
Yeah. All right, so the rundown. All right, so get this shit, bro. Okay. r/relationship advice. I, 30 male, and my wife, 30 female, might have to call off our wedding after she revealed something awful. Hi, my name is...
You really could do that, yeah.
So Robert Pattinson, Charlie, and Emma Zendaya. Okay.
Emma and Charlie.
Emma and Charlie are getting married, and they are at a restaurant, catering company place, testing out some food and wine with their friends, when they decide to have a conversation about what's the worst thing that you've ever done. Their two friends go first, and then Charlie goes, and then when Emma goes, her worst thing that she's ever done is that she planned to commit a school shooting. She explains she is deaf in one ear, and that's like very clear from the opening of the movie. And she explains that she even lost her hearing while practicing with a rifle in the woods, and that was a lie. She had lied to her fiance and said that she had it from birth. And she explains that when she was in high school, she really thought out being a school shooter and had made all these plans and was, picking a day and everything. And then she, ended up not doing it. And the maid of honor / Charlie's best friend's wife gets really, really upset about this. She's pissed off because she's like, my cousin. This is part of why the movie's kind of funny. Can I say this? This is
weird. The movie's very uncomfortable.
And by the way, that's the rundown, guys. That's what happens. She says this. He gets really uncomfortable, can't stop thinking about it. It potentially is going to call off the wedding because of it.
All of his friends want him to.
All his friends are like, you got to get out of this relationship because this woman's a psychopath. And then he ends up kissing another woman and almost has sex with her. And the speed with which she turned around and got bent over for Robert Pattinson is only 0.2 seconds faster than I would have. And yeah, so then they actually go through with the wedding, and it's revealed that he kissed another woman. So now she's pissed off, and he's been very confused. And then the guy who's boyfriend of the girl that he kissed ends up headbutting him, and then he leaves, and then he goes to a diner, and then she shows up at the end, and they do this whole thing where they're like starting over. And that's the movie. That's what happens.
There's the rundown.
Okay?
Very simple.
Now, let's explain, why is this movie so, I don't know what to say about it, okay? In the same scene in which these characters find out that their very close friend was almost a school shooter, the other friend gets really pissed, and she says in a very angry voice, "My cousin's in a wheelchair because of a shooting. Are you fucking serious?" And that line to me was funny because I'm like, your cousin, first of all? Second of all, and they were all like, what cousin? She's like, Sam. And he's like, I don't never met him. Her name is Samantha.
Yeah.
Do you think this is okay? You think it's fucking okay that you were gonna shoot some people? What about my cousin? What would she say about that?
Yeah.
It's like, why is that scene funny? And then it's, the whole time, like they do this thing throughout the editing, like the opening of the movie is, Charlie's writing his vows, or he's writing the speech for the wedding. And then every time he talks about a story about Emma, they cut to these scenes, their first date and when they first met and how he, whatever. And it's an interesting style of editing, especially because then after she tells him this, something that starts to happen is they insert like scenes of people's imagination, like kind of like daydream sequences.
That's when it becomes even more dreamlike, and that's what I was referring to in spoiler free. They'll take these scenes of Robert Pattinson cuddling Zendaya, and then they'll cut to a different angle, and he's now cuddling teenage Zendaya with a rifle. Like, right. It's just showing that he genuinely is reframing each and every memory he has of her. And it
changed everything about their relationship.
Exactly. He can't, which rightfully so. And that's why it's so interesting. The one that worked the best for me was when they show the scene of her flipping out at the crosswalk on the guy who almost hit them in traffic.
Yeah.
And her just losing her shit and him going like, oh my God, she would have fucking shot him. Yeah. Like, it's just like he's starting to see like a typical like, oh, I'm mad because I almost got hit by a fucking car. And now he's going, she's violent.
Right.
It's reframing
he
everything.
He can't see her normal anymore. Yeah. I mean, even, there was a scene where they have sex and she slapped him in the face. And he's like, oh, dude, because she likes hurting people.
Yeah.
She gets off on it like a psychopath. And then like, he's so conflicted throughout the movie. There's a dream sequence that he has of showing the wedding with everyone shot up.
Yeah, that was, again, that was one of the most uncomfortable I was in. Yeah, that was one of the most uncomfortable moments for the whole movie for me.
Yeah, and it's extremely jarring and like it just a scary scene. Like, it's a scary moment,
It is.
It just imagining like what if this whole thing, she's just planning to have a wedding so she could do her mass shooting that she's always wanted to do, whatever. And at the same time, when you're going into the present, it's kind of like at times you could be like, what is he so upset about? You know what I mean? Like, almost like I feel like this is not a big deal, but then it is a big deal at the same time. That's why it's such a confusing movie.
That's why
I'm like, she's saying, hey, 15 years ago, I thought about doing this. I got as close as to bringing a gun to school. And then I didn't do it. And then when he's trying to understand it, because he cannot think about anything else other than this now, and it's affecting, are we going to do this wedding or not? He asked her, like, why did you not do it? And her answer was the worst fucking answer. Like, maybe not the worst answer, but still, it was like, it wasn't like, oh, I realized that wasn't what I actually wanted to do. I was just frustrated, and I went and I got some help for my mental health. She was like, no, someone else already did a mass shooting at the mall. Now it's like, fuck, I'd be the second one. Someone else already did this shit. And then one of her classmates died. And then she made friends by protesting against gun violence.
Yeah, she becomes an advocate for the right reasons after not following through with what she had planned. I mean, it shows scenes of, again, this is a perfect example of how this movie does comedy. They show a scene of teenage Zendaya recording on her webcam her little manifesto, right? And she's going, you guys are probably wondering why I did this. By the time you see this, I'm probably already gone. well, here, and then mid-sentence, her computer's like, oh, you need an update. Ding.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's that kind of, it plays with, it's so weird. It's such a weird, uncomfortable space that it creates. And I found myself just with my head in my hands a lot during this movie, because I was almost feeling guilty for laughing.
Right.
At points. And then sometimes I was feeling uncomfortable by them wanting me to laugh.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I felt a lot of things during this movie. I really was. Because this does touch like really, I would assume that this touches really, really close to all Americans.
Yeah.
But, you know, I will say, like, admittedly, it is a genuine fear of mine.
Right.
Like, I do have an actual phobia of this happening. I have recurring dreams a lot of the time that is how I die. So it's a real personal fear of mine. I've brought up, if it's made the edit, I don't know. But like, there have been times where I was scared to buy movie tickets to go see movies for this pod because of the way that the tickets were bought in the theater. Like, I see like 2 tickets bought on complete opposite sides next to the exit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna, no. Like, because that's actually how scared I am. I'm very, very conscious of this all the time. And unfortunately, you have to be in this country.
Yeah.
So there are moments where they want me to laugh and I genuinely can't, because I'm just scared and uncomfortable and I feel gross.
Yeah.
So I could see this movie turning people off so, like, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm shocked that Zendaya accepted this role.
Right.
It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Pattinson has done some crazy shit in the past and some really different roles. I mean, this is definitely not something or a context that I've ever seen Zendaya in. And what this movie made me laugh one of the hardest I have laughed in the theaters in a long time. Like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously excluding Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, which I was laughing that hard almost the whole movie.
Yeah.
But like, especially from a movie, I had no context of this movie being a comedy in any regard. And he's like, so like, there's this scene where they're like, right after they're constantly talking about it, and he's obsessing over it.
Yeah, she had just broke the news to him the night before this happens.
Yes. And so the next day they have to go meet with their photographer for the wedding, and she's going through the list of everything they're going to do throughout the wedding. And she's like, so we're going to shoot you, and then we're going to shoot her, and then we'll shoot you guys together. Then we'll shoot mom and dad. Then we're going to shoot grandma, grandpa. And I think if we can shoot the cousins and then shoot aunts and uncles after that. And it's just like, it just becomes funny.
Yeah.
And you start to laugh out loud because she does this for 5 straight minutes. We're going to shoot them. We're going to shoot this person. Now we're going to shoot this person. We're going to shoot this person. And then in that same scene, she's like, you guys seem nervous. Let's do some practice shots real quick. And then like Robert Pattinson just can't smile. And she's like, so just smile. Yeah. So just like, okay, yeah. So Charlie, just smile.
He keeps trying.
He's like trying. He's like forcing it, and she's like, no, like how a person smiles. Like, you know, like you smile. Like you can just do a normal smile.
Yeah.
Just like a normal one, like a regular smile. Can you do a regular smile, like a normal smile? And he's just like, it just got to a point where I'm like dying laughing in the theater.
It's very similar to the brother joke in The Monkey.
It's exactly like the brother joke in The Monkey.
Very, very similar.
And it is like a Tim and Eric bit almost.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes fucking funny, bro. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's just so many moments like that in this movie. And I think that the other thing that's like, how am I supposed to feel about this movie is like, how am I supposed to feel about this story? Like if this were a Reddit story, you know?
Yeah.
How would you, like half the people would say, you got to divorce her, bro. Or you got to leave. You got to get out. You got to get the fuck out of there, bro.
Yeah.
And you're going to have other people who are like, I don't feel like this is a big deal. And if she's not that person anymore, then that's different.
Exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, both sides are valid.
Both sides are cooking. That's why it's so interesting to me.
And of course, making it, if it were the man, no one would question it. Is that just me? If it were like your husband said, I was going to be a school shooter, but I backed out because someone else already did it, you'd be like, oh, he's a sociopath, and I got to get out of this relationship.
And men just statistically are more harmful than women.
Right.
They are. Like the amount of domestic abuse cases and stuff. I mean, it's just. Yeah, I do think that plays a part in it. I actually like the fact that they kind of address that with her character and her pointing out some
there was like another teenage girl who's like, this is just such a male problem. She was like, actually, it's not. It's not. Actually, women can do school shootings too. Women can do anything.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
But that's what's so. That's what's so like. Even it's I would assume supposed to be comedic. the fact that he like mentions to her as they're kind of talking through this stuff, he mentions like, oh, so there was a mass shooting, and she's like, well, no, it wasn't a mass shooting, and he's like, what do you mean? She's like, it has to be 4 or more for it to be a mass shooting.
Yeah, only 3 people died at the mall.
Only 3 people got shot. So, and it's like, hey, not the time. Like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm trying to rid the idea that you're still a school shooter type person, and you are like, statistically, actually, a mass shooting. It's like, all right, man, we get it. You're obsessed with fucking shootings. It's so uncomfortable. It's so weird, but it creates comedy that really works at points.
When they show the scenes of her as a kid, like carrying around the gun, and like she's talking about like I kind of like the aesthetic of it. Like there's like, oh, she's almost basically saying like school shooters have aura. Like
yeah, she's like one of those people that gets obsessed with Ted Bundy, and you know what I mean. Like this is not like I'm not saying it's the same as planning a fucking school shooting, but I am saying that it's close and that it is somewhat comparable to something that we are very familiar with that is way more common, which is a lot of these people who get obsessed with serial killers that did awful, horrible things, and they're like, they become so infatuated by them that they almost want to. They like. I've seen some that go as far as like, this person does not deserve to be in jail, or what. It's just like insane.
Yeah,
it's like you are fucking way out there, and you are so off.
Yeah, it's like she's almost saying like, doing a school shooting would have made me cool.
Yeah,
like. And that's a scary thing when you're trying to not think about your partner as someone who would commit violence.
Exactly.
So that's why it's such a bit like the editing of the movie too is just so comedic a lot of times too. And, you know, and everyone he asks for advice, like you said, everyone who asks him, they're like, oh yeah, fuck that. No, I would never stay with someone who's like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, but he's like, but you love them. Like, imagine you love them. Imagine this is because he has this whole conversation with his coworker, the one he ends up kissing later, about this, you know. And she's like, yeah, no, I would call the fucking police or something. I don't know, because they're a psychopath. And then he's like, but what if they were never like this ever again? They're totally fine, and like you fully believe that they're okay now, and that would never happen. And she goes, wouldn't that be exactly what a psychopath would do? And then he flips the fuck out. He crashes out. So it's like, yeah, and like he has a fucking. He just starts to realize how much American culture revolves around guns. He has a mug that says "coffee or I'll shoot," and there's a picture of a gun on it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And he throws it away because he's like, just can't even think about that stuff anymore. And he starts to notice how, like, even in the movie, it's like, it's funny because then we start to see all these things that become funny. Like there's a picture of them on the fridge where she's sitting in his lap and she's pointing finger guns at him.
Yeah.
And they're smiling. And it's like, oh, now in context, that picture is not cool or, you know, whatever. It's just like, and even like her hearing, like her not being able to hear in one ear was just like this like cute little quirky thing about her that's just, you know, makes her different. And now he's like, no, that's because you were shooting a gun in the woods now. And now that's all I can think of.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning of the movie, he tells this story about how, you know, he was testing out how deaf she was in that ear by having her cover the other ear. And he like, that's when he whispers to her, like, I'm so in love with you that it hurts and I can't imagine my life without you. And I want to marry you so bad, but I'm afraid to ask. You know, all this stuff. And it's like, that was the only way you could say it to her, knowing that she couldn't hear anything. And it was this very sweet moment. And now that's recontextualized. And this is the ear that you fucking ruptured planning your school shooting. Like, yeah. It's just, yeah. It's a very, very weird fucking movie.
It's a weird movie. It just is a weird movie. It's funny. It's awful. It's uncomfortable. It's awkward. And
at the same time, it's simple.
And it's simple. It is really simple. And I like
it's so complicated,
and
but
contained.
it's simple.
Like the amount of characters is, you know, so
very
small.
Minimal, yeah.
So small. And I did have to. It does create you. I feel like with something this specific in subject matter, or even if you just remove the actual details, the human story of I'm about to get married to someone and maybe I don't even know who they actually are. Or maybe I know exactly who they are. And that fear of like, who am I marrying? That's a totally human story, sure. That I'm sure happens to a lot of people. But I think too, like I'm starting to empathize because that's just my natural reaction to stuff like this. I have to then go, okay, like I start thinking, what was I like at 15 that if you thought that I still was like that today, that I'd be like, you're fucking insane.
Fuck no, baby.
Like I think about when I first found Tyler the Creator when I was like 16 or whatever, and I was writing golf weighing on everything. I was drawing upside down crosses and writing 666 on stuff because I was just so influenced and impressionable to that whole movement. I like him cussing like crazy. I started cussing on social media, and I never did that before. Like I started behaving a way that I never would have. Like, and that's one of the things I thought of during this movie. I was like, if you thought I was still like that, you would be out of your mind, because I'm not. And it was like, damn it, this is making...
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why?
I'm a fucking walking paradox. No, I'm not. Yeah, that edgy, like I like ruffling feathers and I like saying things because I know I'm not supposed to say it. Like that energy, that kind of punk rock type energy that I was tapping into at that time is super cringe, and it's super like, it's so not me anymore in that specific way. Like now I associate punk with like revolution. You know what I mean? Like not whatever that bullshit was. So it's like so interesting to me. Even Tyler the Creator himself is like, cringe.
Well, he was also pretty young when he was doing that stuff
he
too.
was exactly.
So to say that he's the same person would be completely
100%
inappropriate. And
it's a fascinating conversation, and it's a fascinating concept.
There's a huge portion of Bo Burnham's inside was talking about not being the same person as you were when you were 15. So like, I understand why it's so scary for him and why he's overthinking it to a certain degree. But I also like. I can understand it if you were someone who was like, this is not a big deal at all and you should just get over it. I could also see that being valid. Like I can see that being like brother, you've been with this girl for how many years now? For like, 2, 3, 4 years. You've never had any inclination that she was anything but who you think that she is. You hear about this story about something she didn't do, and all of a sudden you're like, she's a sociopath who wants to kill people. What the fuck? And
but I think that he approaches it the right way in the movie, because I think that he has the same curiosities that I would have in this situation mostly. Is like, did you get therapy? Did you see a psychiatrist? Like, he wants to know.
Didn't you watch your friend die or something? Like,
yeah,
did something tragic happen to you that
he's rationalizing, and he's asking. Like, I bet there's a part of him who's like, so when did you get diagnosed with a brain tumor? Or you know what I mean? Like, what is the explanation for why you were that way and why you are no longer that way?
Yeah.
That's all I need.
And you
is
showed
that
up to
bridge.
school with a gun and you thought, I could never hurt another person, and that's why I did.
Exactly.
And she's like, no. It's like,
it's so weird.
It is so weird.
Especially with, it's kind of I'm shocked that she accepted this role, but what a phenomenal casting, because she's so sweet. Like, it's Zendaya. Yeah. She's so sweet. She's very, very calm and innocent, and like she gives that off.
Yeah.
So to like the idea of casting a Disney actress to play, and not that that's what I'm not reducing her to that, but I'm just saying contextually we know where she's kind of started. I think that plays into her perception of her being very innocent, and her being with Tom Holland is another thing. Like, just too sweet.
I think that her public persona has been someone that is like America's sweetheart type of vibe from her, that like, how could you hate Zendaya? Like, she's so funny and quirky and lovable, and just, and so to say, like, I think that does play into the psychology of this thing, and that's why I said, like, I think that it being the woman and it being like this cute girl is so different than if it were me, if it were a fat ugly man, they'd be like, yeah, I could see it.
Right.
Like, in this one, they're like, are you joking? Everyone's like, are you joking? And if I said that, they would be like, I knew it. And even then, when the other guy approaches her to recruit her to their like gun violence protest group, did you also think that he was approaching her to plan a school shooting together? So yeah, he had the look too. And then she was like, oh yeah, no, totally. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I guess that makes the movie good in a way, because it is so morally conflicting, and because it is such a simple story. It's a very, very simple story that is extremely complex from a moral standpoint and from a logical versus emotional standpoint. And I think that if you listen to Reddit reading stories, or you read Reddit stories all the time, you'll hear lots and lots and lots of stories of people who got all the way to engagement, or sometimes even got married to someone, had kids with somebody, like all these different levels of relationship in which all of a sudden their partner reveals who they actually are, and their partner's an awful person the whole time. You know, whether it's something as simple as like they've been cheating on you the whole time, or something like, oh, it turns out they were an abusive, manipulative, you know, sociopathic person. Like it's very common to see that. And then you have people who are like, I don't want to leave this relationship though because of all these other good things. And then it just becomes such a conversation. That's why those, you know, podcasts are so popular. That's why people love listening to them, and they get numbers, because people love to go, how would I feel about this? You know? And to just
podcast reality TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, you know, it's like, well, I'm not like that, so I get to feel better about myself. You know, at certain times,
superiority complex. Yeah,
yeah. So it is. That's why I really feel like this movie is r/relationship advice. The movie, like, it's very, you know, it's a conversation piece of a story.
I will say, I'm. This is the most intrigued I've been to find out why the director wrote this, or the writer wrote this. And like, what, I can't remember if he was a writer director. I don't remember the thing, but whoever wrote the story, whoever wanted to come up with this as a screenplay, what inspired this? Like I want to know so bad what inspired this. And we had like, the ending becomes so much more grounded than the rest of the movie, because it really does turn into just, for lack of a better word, drama.
Yeah.
Then it's like, you cheat on me and blah, blah, like it becomes way more that. And I'm curious about your thoughts on the ending, because the ending plays it so normal for how weird that movie it was.
Yeah, I think that it's almost as though they get to the end of the movie and now both of them realize that they've both fucked up so bad that if they're going to stay together, they both have to start over. Mm-hmm. And I think that is like when you talk about like the psychology of infidelity, even, you know, in general, you know, a couples counselor, more often than not, they say that if you are going to stay with a partner who has cheated on you, you're starting a new relationship now. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to be starting a new relationship, because if you're ever going to get over the infidelity, you know, you have to treat everything as if it's new. And then if you're someone who already cheated, you need to make different decisions and be better, you know? So they really do, you know, treat it as though you're starting over in a relationship where now you're honest. Now you're not, you know, doing things behind the other one's back, and, you know, you're not holding on to resentment from previous, you know, whatever. And this movie is kind of like that's how the ending is to me. It's like both of them realizing like we both need a do-over. And so it's like she tries to force this in the middle of the movie where she's like, can we just start over? And she tries to do like a role play as if they're just meeting. And he's like, I can't do this. He's like, I can't do this. Can we just talk about it? Like, I'm not going to be able to just stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was like, he couldn't even get it up, bro. Like, there's a whole scene, which again is kind of a funny scene, because the sound of him trying to get his dick hard for so long. Even when she's like, hey, you know, honestly, if you can't stop thinking about it, like, it's totally fine. He's like, no, it's fine. Just.
Yeah. And he just like grabs her boob, and that's like very like it becomes this awkward thing that started off very natural and like kind of sexy. And then all of a sudden it's like it just stilted. It reminded me shades of Killing of a Sacred Deer, with him role playing with Nicole Kidman, her lying down like a dead person. Like, it was just that awkward, stilted, like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's a very, but it's like, it's funny at the same time. And so she tries to do that. And then the way that the movie ends is she does that again at this diner that they plan to go to after the wedding. Because they say like they're so stressed out during the wedding they barely eat, and so they make this plan to go eat, and which, by the way, not me. I stuffed my fucking face at my wedding. The food was good as fuck.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so weddings are chaotic. Weddings are crazy. So for this to be thrown on top of the wedding stuff, and they're doing a regular wedding, which is even more chaotic than ours, because they're actually planning things in advance.
Right.
Which, you know, I am grateful for that. I never went through that. I never went through the, you know, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on fucking bullshit and having to pick flowers for 10 months or whatever. Yeah, I could never. I don't understand wedding culture in that regard. But I understand that it is stressful and it's a lot to deal with. Mm-hmm. So they go to this diner and they're like, they do the starting over thing. And it's kind of like, yeah, you guys are still compatible. You guys do still love each other. You both fucked up a lot. And even if it's like, even though what she did and what she didn't do is insane and very like recontextualizes his entire relationship for him.
Yeah.
Even without it being that insane, you still like you lied about how why you're deaf in one ear. Like you started the relationship on lies. So it is kind of like.
But so did he. He didn't even read the book he said he read.
That's also true. And I thought about that too. I was like, well, you also started the relationship on lies.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so.
But he came clean on the first date, so a little different.
It is a little bit different. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know.
But no, he started on lies. She started on lies. Yeah.
Also, if you want to hit on a girl who's reading a book, you don't have to say you've read that book. You can just say, how was that book?
Yeah.
He's a fucking idiot. And also, if you're Robert Pattinson, you don't have to do any of that. You could just say, my place, and then they say yes.
I'm glad you brought this up, because since we're speaking about the last scene, you know what I noticed? They do the role play, and she's like, hey, my name is so-and-so. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm Charlie. And she says, what brings you here? I see you around this diner. What, you come here often? He's like, yeah, I live 2 blocks away. She's like, really? And he's like, yeah. And then she goes, how did you get that thing on your face?
He has bruises on both of his eyes.
Yeah, his face is all fucked up, and he tells a story about how he got it. You know what I noticed? In their role play, he still, sorry ladies, I'm so sorry, but still, even in a role play with her now husband, the man never asks her a question. It's all about him.
Let me get this straight, dumbass!
It's kind of sad, but I was thinking that I was like, he's not asking her any questions.
And I'm telling you this, if he doesn't start asking questions.
Suit down, Tabari!
Hey, not cool. See, now, okay, we got to get rid of that off the soundboard. See, off the soundboard. Now I'm recontextualizing everything. No, I really did notice that, because I was like, I was thinking 2 things. I was like, man, what a bad date this would be. She's asking him all, like, this is way too common. Every woman who's listening right now, every single one of the women listening to this podcast, just making a joke about how we probably have a primarily male audience, but they know exactly what I'm talking about. They know that this is a widespread issue across everywhere, that it's always all these bad date stories. I asked all the questions. He didn't ask anything about me, which I cannot believe I'm single, because I'm such a good conversationalist. But it is sad that the bar is that low. So I thought, 1, wow, what a bad partner. But then I thought 2, they're role playing. Brother, what a bad scene partner. Yes. And, you know,
well, yeah.
he just yeses. I'm like, no. Bad scene partner.
What's interesting about that final scene too is they're like, well, let's start over, and then he makes up a story about how his eyes got blackened, and I'm like, I understand you guys are doing this role play thing, but you're restarting this relationship on lies again.
That's true too.
Was that intentional? Was that part of it? That they're both realizing, like, maybe we both shouldn't tell each other the truth all the time because we can't handle it.
Maybe
we can't handle the truth.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more so that they're just playing characters, and they're not supposed to get meta. They're not supposed to say, they're supposed to be different people. But I see what you're saying, because it's like, hi, I'm Emma. Hi, I'm Charlie. So it's like, are they different? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you could read it either way. But it's funny, because the ending was just so interesting to me, in the fact that I was like, this movie has been so batshit insane in its content and the way it approaches it. But then this feels so normal and grounded and sweet and
Yeah.
And so it felt weird, but at the same time, I was like, I don't really know how else you could end this movie, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't really, I don't really know if I feel negatively about it. I just feel strange about it. So, yeah.
Also, I just want to bring, this isn't even important for the context of the movie, or maybe it is. Maybe there's some kind of metaphor, and maybe there's some rewatchability for the first half of the movie, knowing the second half. I don't know. But there's a scene of them where they're at their choreographer's studio practicing their dance that they're being taught how to do for the wedding. And Zendaya's character is like, she's like, I don't know. What if we didn't do all this? What if we just danced? Like, why? And he's like, well, I think if we do it 1 or 2 more times, I'll finally get it down. And she's like, no, like, what? And then she like, puts on a regular song. And I leaned over to Dan and I said, Zendaya's asking her white British boyfriend, why can't you just dance? Just feel the rhythm and dance.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not the same for us. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, but now I'm like, is that something about like her impulsivity? Who knows?
So at first, because of how they introduce his character, he's performative. He like looks up this book. He's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to approach her. He like does this whole spiel and really rehearses just approaching someone and talking casually. So my eyes were on him the whole first half of the movie, or I guess not even half because it's pretty early that she reveals this, but I don't know. Anyways, my eyes were on him. I was really suspicious of him.
Is it because you saw that headline?
No, it was because I was suspicious of him because of how he's introduced is a little weird that he just does all this practicing. So when she was like, this feels very performative. And he was like, no, but we should. I'm like, what is his deal? Why does he want everything to be completely rehearsed and practiced? And I'm like,
yeah, like even him writing his speech and getting, hints from his best man and like all these things, like everything has to be precise.
Exactly. I'm like, what is his deal? What are we going to learn about him? So I was very focused on him. I
think that part of that plays into it is like, yeah, when it gets revealed, it throws a hitch in his plans and that completely unravels him. Because he's like, now he doesn't understand he's like, because he's such a rule follower. He's such a plans guy,
Yeah.
And like, even I think that him trying to fuck his coworker was partially him being like, what if I just did something I'm not supposed to do? And then he couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice in scene for him there. Yeah, now that I'm thinking, you're talking about like rewatchability and recontextualizing scenes now that happened before the reveal. Like that is an interesting scene. It's more interesting than I thought it was initially, obviously, because now I'm like, she is refuting something that old her would have done. Old her made an entire plan and did a very performative thing.
Right.
And then now in modern day, she's like, man, fuck all this performative shit. What if we just dance? Right. She's being a good person. She is pushing that old part of her down by doing that, not just naturally.
Right.
Like, and so that I don't know. Maybe we're thinking too deep, but it's
a movie I think you're supposed to do this with.
Maybe.
I think this is the kind of movie that is it's more of a conversational piece than it is just a straight narrative. Here's the story.
It is.
I think it is a movie that is intentionally supposed to spark conversation.
That is why I texted Mo right out of the theater. I was just like, dude, like, I can't just record and be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we got to talk to people about this. Out of all the movies that we do for the podcast that we say, what did you think of this movie? What did you think about the...
We actually now need to know what you guys thought.
If you went to go see this, please talk to me about this. I really, really want to talk to Gabby about this specifically. Like, I'm thinking of people in my life and I'm like, hey, have you seen the drama? Like, can we please talk about this?
And I want to go ask all of my married friends too. Like, what?
Yeah, Cody, I want to talk to you about this.
I want Shane to see this movie.
Yeah,
and
man.
see, one of our married coworkers too. It's like, yeah, it's just...
It is so fascinating. What I really, really love about how they did the reveal scene, I love what they did in this. We haven't mentioned this. Is you had said in the rundown, everybody shares their story about what's the worst thing you've ever done. The best man says, which by the way, before I even say this, the fact that this actor is in a scene with his wife and another couple, I was like, whoa, where are we going here?
Hey, chill.
Kinds of kindness.
Kinds of kindness. Yes. Who remembers?
Who remembers? All right. Anyways,
you know what's funny too, because I think that they were one of the conversations they were having. So, and I know I'm going to let you finish, but I just want to say Beyonce should have won. No,
I was just thinking that too.
They are planning to fire their DJ because they saw their DJ smoking crack, which they keep saying smoking heroin. I don't think you can smoke heroin.
The fact that we don't know if you can smoke heroin is a good thing.
That's probably true. Yeah.
I don't ever want to know if you can smoke heroin, and I would just leave it that way. Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like she was smoking crack to me. I think these guys are fucking these naive children.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they're like, we're gonna fire her because we saw her smoking crack on the street, and they were like, and Zendaya's character is like, I don't think that that's something that we should have to fire her for. And everyone else is like, no, you definitely fire her now. And so that's how they start on what's the worst thing you've ever done. Like, what if this was the worst thing she's ever done? But Zendaya says, and then she looks directly at the Licorice Pizza girl and goes, well, what if she was a pedophile? And I was like, Licorice Pizza.
That's funny. Obviously did not connect that.
But she goes, well, that's way different than smoking crack.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, maybe Zendaya doesn't say what if she was a pedophile. That might have been Robert Pattinson. But anyways, you get my point. I'm making a joke. She's a fucking pedophile. In the movie. All right, moving on.
Right.
Everyone says the worst thing they've ever done.
And you talking about that, and I'm now realizing, like, oh my God, like that DJ story is kind of mirroring Zendaya's experience.
Yeah.
It's like, do you see me as the person who was smoking crack on the street, or do you see me as a good DJ because I'm a good DJ?
Right.
It's really interesting. Anyways, yes, the way that they do this is perfect. Why? Because the best man goes first, and he tells a story about the worst thing he's ever done, which is him and his girlfriend at the time were attacked by a dog, and instead of protecting her, he uses her as a shield because he doesn't want to get bit by the dog. Oh, not that bad. And then who goes next? Licorice Pizza, Haim. Also, I didn't know if you knew that. She's a member of the band Haim.
Did not know that. Okay. I don't know what Haim is.
Or is it Haim? I don't know.
Hyman?
Hyman? Wait a minute.
All-female band?
It is actually. No joke. So,
all right.
She then tells her story about how she locked I thought she said mentally disabled in her story as well. Did she not? She says later that she didn't. But anyways, she locks a kid in a closet and doesn't tell anyone. In
an abandoned home.
An abandoned home, leaves him there overnight. The kid's dad even asks her, like, have you seen him? And she's like, no, I don't know where he is. And everyone is like, what the fuck? You locked a helpless person in a closet,
and she's like,
left him for dead.
They did the search party, and they found him.
They found him,
and they were like, well, what would have happened if they didn't find him? She goes, well, then I would have told it, of course.
Exactly. So that mirrors her story. It is her going, well, they found him, is Zendaya going, well, I didn't follow through with it.
Right.
Well, what if you did? What if they didn't find him?
Right.
What if you did follow through with the shooting?
But even Robert Pattinson calls her out on that because he's like, you actually did do something awful. You locked that kid in a fucking closet and you didn't tell anyone. And Zendaya just thought about doing something and planned to do it, but didn't actually do it.
Yeah.
Who's worse? Well, you actually did do it, but she goes, well, I didn't plan to do that. It just happened.
Yeah.
And
so
and of course she goes, I was like 12. And it's like, well, Zendaya was 15. Like,
right.
What, like the excuses that she makes for herself for the awful thing she did versus, and then she's like, how dare you even plan a school shooting? My cousin got shot.
Right.
It's like,
and remember what she says in that conversation to her husband too? She says, she says it to someone at the table. I can't remember exactly who, but she says in that conversation before Zendaya reveals anything, your brain's not actually fully developed until you're 25.
Right.
Like she's an advocate for that point.
Yeah. Until it's the thing that affects her personally.
Exactly. So it's very interesting the conversation that creates. However, my point, I promise I will land the plane. I'm sorry. I'm scatterbrained, but because this movie does that to you. But what I loved about that scene is the fact that she tells that story, and I can speak for myself. I don't know about you. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, that's actually awful.
It's so uncomfortable. Like I'm like, that is horrible. That was actually so fucked up. So I'm not thinking that anything's going to top that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they go to Robert Pattinson and he's like, oh, what's the worst thing I've done? I don't even remember what he says. It was that innocent. I don't even remember. So anyways,
he says he's cyberbullied.
There we go.
Kid.
He says I cyberbullied someone, and okay. So the fact that you're like, oh my God, like this is the reveal at this table. It's like this person is awful, and then it goes to Zendaya, and she's like, oh, I planned a school shooting once, and I almost fucking committed a mass shooting at my school.
I brought the gun to the school. But.
It's absolutely insane the way that it's perfect to have the maid of honor's story be so bad and awful and morally unjust, or whatever. It's like, oh wow, this is fucked up. Nothing's going to top this. And so they structured that so perfectly.
Yeah.
I was very
when you
engaged.
hear those 3 other stories that are actually pretty bad, you're like, man, the smoking crack girls, I mean, I think she's fine.
Honestly.
And she was probably she sounded like a good DJ.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I need to find what track that was because I was really enjoying that song. But yeah.
And even Robert Pattinson starts crying about it. I mean, he's crying because he cheated on his wife. It's a whole thing. But like, yeah, it is such a, to me, I'm like, they still go through with the wedding while this is all going on. I can't, you invited the girl you almost fucked in your office to the wedding with her boyfriend. Why the fuck is she there?
I know, insane.
Oh my God.
By the way, whoever that actress is, I'm so attracted to her. Jesus Christ. The chick who plays Meechee in this movie.
Yeah,
and what is she
swear
from?
I recognize her.
Yeah, she looks very familiar.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. this was a very interesting movie. I cannot wait to talk to more people about it. I hope that some people reach out with their kind of testimony or their thoughts on the movie, their experience seeing this movie. What did they see? Yeah, we haven't mentioned that I saw a headline that there was a pretty prominent figure that was very uncomfortable and felt a little offended by this movie. And it was a public figure who is a big advocate against school shootings and making sure that there's stricter gun laws. I saw that TMZ headline. It was like, so-and-so comes out against the movie, The Drama for blah, and I was like, what the fuck is this movie about? And even then I did not see it. I didn't see any of this coming. I really, really didn't.
I had no idea that that's what this movie was.
I'm not going to lie. If I had not seen that headline, I still would have had the same experience with this movie, straight up. Yeah. So pretty insane. My favorite part of this movie, has to be the photo shoot scene.
Ditto.
It was just so funny.
The actress was so fucking good.
I leaned over to Dave and I said 10 out of 10 casting. Yes. When I say that this woman knows how to, one, play a wedding planner / photographer type, type of person who's in this industry, like to a T perfectly, but also like her facial acting, she smiles with her eyes. Yeah. Like it was blowing me away how good she was. So 10 out of 10 casting, great performance by this actress. And it was just so funny and really to a point of absurdity and surrealism. It was awesome. Like it was a really good scene. My least favorite part of this movie. What's my least favorite part of the drama? You have any good answers for this?
Well, my least favorite part of the movie is, I guess, just the frequency with which they do like daydream sequences. Not because they're like
That's
bad.
What I was leaning towards.
It's not that they're bad or anything like that, but here's what happened for me in the movie. Because they do these sequences where they're daydreaming about something happening or not happening or whatever, what ended up happening for me is when they cut to the wedding, I didn't think the wedding was actually happening. It took me a long time to realize that, this is actually the wedding.
Sure.
Like they went through with it and got married. I thought like for the first 10 minutes of the wedding scene that it was still a daydream or still like a, fantasy or trying to imagine what's going to happen. So when you do it too many times to the point to where I actually don't know if we're in a daydream or a reality, it gets to be too much for me.
Sure.
And I think that some of it was good and very clear in context, but then some of it wasn't, And that's what ended up happening for me is that it actually got confusing to what's reality, what's actually happening. I don't know.
Sure. I think that actually helped me figure out my least favorite part of the movie is how frequently they cut in the middle of someone's sentence or before they can finish their sentence. Do you know what I'm talking about? They do it a lot in this movie, and it was so annoying to me within the first about 30% into the movie, I was like, dude, stop fucking doing this. Like, it was really annoying me. Like, mid sentence was Zendaya's like, and that's why and then they just cut to a shot of her alone and not talking, and then cut back to her talk. I was like, stop! I don't like this. This is like
that
headache-inducing.
whole argument scene that they were doing were just
in the living room.
I agree. That was just
it was tacky to me. It was really tacky. Like I don't know how else to say it. We haven't even mentioned, by the way, that the score for this movie. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Daniel Pemberton is the person who scored Project Hail Mary as well. The score for this movie is very whimsical, and it's almost Disney-esque. So that adds to the weirdness of this movie. So shout out to that as well. There's a lot of interesting elements in this movie, I swear. Shout out to Daniels, man, because Daniel Lopatin is the one who did Marty Supreme and Good Time.
Yeah, so that's my favorite part was also the photo scene. So we covered it there. I'm giving this movie fuck.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'm gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10, and I genuinely believe. I can't believe I'm saying. It feels weird and tacky for some reason to say. Anyways, this movie it's closer to a 7 than a 5.
I'm right there with you.
Like, I'm tempted to give it a 7.
My brain is tempted to go 5 though, and I only say that. I feel like I only say that because it is such a contained story. Mm-hmm. Like nothing really happens.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a movie that's like, it is a movie that I'm going to be thinking about a lot. You know what I mean? But it's also not a movie where I'm like, I could study the script for this movie, you know?
Yeah. Like, is your experience and the thoughts and conversation it brings you more interesting than the movie itself?
To a certain degree, for me, yes.
You know what?
That's part of why I'm leaning 5.
I think I agree with that. So yeah, I'm obviously sticking with 6. Because especially if I was like, closer to a 7, then Project Hail Mary has to be a 7.5 at least for me. You know what I mean?
I would move it up to an 8 if I allowed the book to influence my score, because that's why I didn't read the book before going to the movie, because I didn't want it to be influencing my score. And if I did read the book before, I would have given it an 8. And right now in my head, it's an 8. And you know, that's not fair to non-adaptations. I don't know.
We said freshest takes on the latest movies.
Freshest takes on the latest movies. It's not the integrity of the podcast.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's not what we do here.
It's an interesting angle.
I'm giving this movie a 5.5.
Okay. I'm gonna stick.
I rarely ever do half scores.
Yeah.
But it just that feels way more right than a 6 to me.
Yeah. I think that you're like literally just now how well you explained that, and how well we both explained it, I guess, because that was a very collaborative conversation. But like that, this is actually closer to a 5 than a 7. I take that back, because I'm just reeling in the conversation it's created, not the movie itself. And now I'm actually picturing myself at home playing this and watching it again, and it's like, how excited am I to do that?
Right.
So it's like, I'm more excited about the conversation of the movie that it created.
Yeah.
I will say it is. So I give it a 6 out of 10. I think it's closer to a 5 than a 7. But I am genuinely interested. Like, I'm officially interested to see what this person makes next, both the writers and the director. And if that's the same person, then
90% sure it's
the same person. I mean, it's A24, so I almost always assume it's writer-director.
I noticed the writer-director because I haven't heard this name before, but they spell Christopher wrong. And so I was like, oh, it's like Kristoffer is what was on screen. I was like, Christopher.
So I think that they have
maybe is what it's supposed to be.
A very interesting voice. And it's not when I talk about like the conflicting weird feelings of like something so controversial and maybe tacky that is tackled through film, this is not my first time having that kind of relationship with a director or with subject matter. You know, like Gaspar Noé and Lars von Trier, like the fact that I enjoy some of their work that speaks on very uncomfortable, fucking awful shit. It's not a new concept, and it's not even to that level. So it's like still,
I think that it's the difference is.
I just don't want to sound like a fucking pussy right now. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree, but I think that the difference is that in like Gaspar Noé movies, you know that what's happening is bad. This is one where you can go, would you just let it go? Like this one, you can let it go. Nothing that Gaspar Noé has ever done, you could let it go.
Yeah.
This movie, you could say, well, couldn't you get over this? Couldn't you get past this? Is this something as bad as some characters are reacting to it? So that's where it's like very different. You know, we've seen the most fucked up shit ever, but we can easily say what's the right way to think about it, what's the wrong way to think about it. This one is very in the middle.
That's so true. That's a great way of putting it.
Also, just real quick for you guys before we go into part 2, especially for you people who don't listen all the way to the end, here's something that I want, and I don't want to do it. I don't even want Taylor to have to do it, but I want this. Mm-hmm. I want someone to create a list of every movie we have reviewed on this podcast and to tell and then write down what my score was and what Daniel's score was, and if there was a special guest, what their score was. I want that data and I want that list, and I don't want to do it. So first person who goes through every single episode and makes this spreadsheet for me, I will send you $50.
Woo. Okay. So that is quite an offer. Y'all hear that?
Yeah. And if Taylor does it before any of you guys, you're fucked.
Yeah. Right.
Although I will have to, I'll pay her for it too.
Respect.
So it's offer. That offer is out there. I want that.
Yes. Give it to us.
And I need that. Okay?
And I will throw in, check this out. Okay. I will throw in an extra $20 if it's so detailed that it says closer to a blank than a blank.
Wow.
I'll throw in an extra 20 on top of David's 50. So So that is $70 up for grabs for someone that wants to take on that project.
Okay.
This is the new Project Hail Mary.
This is Listen, and could I do that? Yeah, I could. Mm-hmm. And if I do it before you, get fucked.
Get fucked, bro.
Now I'm going to be honest about it, and I'm going to tell you whether or not one of us or Taylor or someone did it before you guys. But I just want to give that offer out there because there's a lot of things I would love to do with and for this podcast, and part of it is having that data. So
yeah, we need it.
And it sounds fucking boring to do, so I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's
time consuming.
Tall task.
We've only been doing this for 4 fucking years.
Yeah, only 120 plus episodes to go through to get that data.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And obviously, some of our episodes aren't about movies, and sometimes, we
bottle episodes, yeah.
Yeah, or like the Halloween Spooktaculars where we know every VHS is a 5 out of 5 skulls. So, yeah. But that would be really cool to have.
That's a cool mission, yeah. That's a lot of money up for grabs, people.
It sure is, and it's more money than we would spend on a T-shirt or a hat for you. So
it's also more money than we've ever made on this podcast. So, all right, I reckon that's going to be it for part 1. But please stick around for part 2.
Yes, an actual part 2, we promise. So just give us a minute. We'll be right back. And we're back with part 2 of the podcast.
Why didn't I look? This whole time I'm looking up stuff about the movie. I didn't look up what that song was. Okay.
You didn't look up what that song was.
Post-podcast
mission. Find out what song the crackhead DJ was.
Yeah, because she was
Also, listen, if you're not going to hire a DJ because they do drugs, you're going to have a hard time
Thank you.
finding a DJ.
Thank you. I could not agree more.
Especially a decent one.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to do a little mixed bag for part 2. We're going to have a little bit of traditional part 2. I have a couple things to read from the Reddit thread, but also we got a suggestion.
We did get a suggestion.
Which we asked for last week.
We did. We ask for every week these days.
And someone really came through, so we appreciate you. So shout out to Matt on the Instagram who commented on our post for Hail Mary and gave us a part 2 idea, saying that he wants us to bring back one of the games that we were playing, the classic How Many Actors to Guess the Movie. So we're going to be playing a game, and we're going to be doing some discussion about the movie. We'll go ahead and start with the movie discussion. I want to start off by saying this, okay? We walk out of this movie, and I was telling Dave, I was like, it's interesting. I saw during the credits that Ari Aster produced this movie. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That makes a lot of sense. With his style and what he's drawn to, this is really, really up his alley. And then David goes, yeah, didn't Ari Aster produce something we saw recently that was pretty off the wall and had like crazy gore? And I was like, that sounds familiar. We look it up. He produced Begonia as well. It's, oh yeah, that's so him. And then I wonder what else he's produced. I look it up and I see that one of the movies that he produced is Dream Scenario, a movie that Dave has not seen, but I have seen, and I really like it. Like, it's like a 7 or 8 out of 10 for me, right? Really, really like that movie. And I was like, wow, he produced Dream Scenario. That's really cool. Dude, he has good producing credits. I like Dream Scenario. Turns out the guy who made this movie, the drama, is the person who made Dream Scenario. So I said, you guys have been listening to this podcast. I just said that, you know what? It's a 6 out of 10, closer to a 5 than a 7. But whatever this guy makes, like I'm going to check it out because he has a really interesting voice. I already have.
You already have.
And he has a movie called Sick of Myself that has been on my list for a couple of years. So yeah, pretty crazy that I didn't find that out until just now. But that's why, freshest takes on the latest movies. And this is why we have part 2, is to give some context and figure stuff out. We also confirmed that the person who made the score for this movie is the same person who made the score for Project Hail Mary, which we just saw, and one of the highest rated
Wild Dream movies of all time. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Thank you. Which is also top 3 favorite scores of all time. I was about to say
that score is very iconic.
I'm like dead ass. I'll tell you my top 3 right now. Number 1 is Interstellar. Number 2 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and then number 3 is Tron: New Legacy. Those are my top 3 favorite original scores of all time.
Fantastic list.
Yeah,
Cannot
that
argue
guy
that.
is fucking goated. And the music for Project Hail Mary was really good.
It was. Yep. So, yeah, which we did mention on that episode. But yeah, that's pretty cool. We found some of that stuff out. So, shout out. Yeah, so a couple of comments that I wanted to read from the Reddit thread. Someone said, can we talk about how Charlie's coworker admitted that the worst thing that she's ever done was cheated, and then 10 minutes later she was ready to do it again with Charlie? The girl had zero shame.
That's how cheaters are.
That is how cheaters are.
Cheaters gonna cheat.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was funny. Someone said...
But also, wouldn't you...
I mean, it's Robert
Pattinson is a really good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He's like famously good-looking.
In fact, like in this movie, it's one of the most unattractive I've seen him.
Right.
And he was still hot.
He was still hot.
So, yeah.
Like, and I think Zendaya is a beautiful person. You know, I've never been like super into Zendaya. Obviously, I have eyes, so I can see that she's very attractive. And I was still like, yeah, I think Robert Pattinson is the hot one. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's very weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, he was he made it broke out as a heartthrob. So
Sure, yeah. Someone said, I felt that it was apparent that Rachel was hating on Emma from the very start of this film. That entire conversation where she says, you look ugly when you cry, was very catty, and it was revealing of how she actually felt towards Emma.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. There
Me either.
was something that I was going to bring up. Oh, yeah. That's right. In that scene, what they're talking about is that he's writing his speech and he's talking about the crying thing. And then he talks about how, and like it's implied that she cries very easily and cries a lot. She's probably going to cry during the wedding and she's going to, you know, whatever. I just thought it was interesting that they bring that up in the beginning and then throughout this whole thing, she doesn't cry once. And I was like, wait, is she a sociopath? Like, is she actually psychopathic? Like, the crying was performative.
Yeah.
It was, she doesn't actually cry that often.
That's
I don't know.
Something to think about for
It
sure.
was just very interesting. They were like, yeah, she cries over everything. And then the worst shit ever is happening to her and she's not crying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, I didn't catch that either, that she was kind of against Emma from the very get-go. I really didn't. Yeah, so good observation there. From that Redditor, someone said, really enjoyed it. Nearly every group that left the theater was still intensely discussing the premise and what they would do if their partner revealed that to them. This is a great reflection on forgiveness for yourself and judgment of others in the same breath, which I thought was very well stated. Also, I really wish I would have... We got to start handing out business cards. Okay. Everyone that we... After the movie, we just like, hey, do you like movies too? Check out our podcast. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up...
People don't scan random QR codes anymore, though. So it would just have to have a link.
Yeah.
The original idea was QR codes, but fucking loser pieces of shit, scum of the earth, have ruined that.
Exactly.
They've ruined all of community. They've just ruined the idea of being able to trust people and engage with each other in a positive light because of fucking scammers, bro.
Yeah. Lastly, I wanted to mention this comment that was just it's very hope core. It's very optimistic coded. Someone just said there's lots and lots of thoughts on this movie. So I'll start with one of my favorite quotes from The Good Place, which I think fits perfectly with the theme of this movie. What matters isn't if people are good or bad, but if they're trying to be a better person today than they were yesterday. And then they go on to talk about some, expanding on that theme. But I was just shout out to The Good Place. I loved that. I loved that show. And
sure, bro.
That's a great quote.
He's one of the goats.
So,
For a reason.
Yeah, I love that everyone is also like, yeah, this is a very this is creating such a conversation. We really like this movie and how it's getting everybody talking. And I really, really loved getting the reveal that this was the same guy who made Dream Scenario, especially with the way that it's filmed. A lot of the things make sense now. I'm like, wow, it's just all clicking for me. And it probably speaks a little bit to why the actors signed on to this project. I mean, he got Nicolas Cage, also a massive movie star. So, yeah, not his first rodeo.
So what I have here is I have a list of actors that are in one movie altogether. And I'm going to give you actors and see how many actors you need to be able to guess this movie.
I'm ready.
Now, I'm going to preface this. I'm not 100% sure that you have seen this movie.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay,
if you have seen this movie, it's probably going to make you put it on the rewatch list. And if not, then we got to check this one out. Okay?
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure. I'm just not 100% sure.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to start this off. I'm going to start
do it.
with Gillian Jacobs.
Wow. Okay. You would think that this would narrow it down. Let's go with, I don't want to drag this on too long. Let's go with Choke. I've seen scenes.
No, this is not Choke.
Okay.
All right, second actor, Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen.
And I will show Dan a picture of who Martin Sheen
I know Martin
is.
Sheen. I always think of Joe Estevez because I am a non-cinema stan. Martin Sheen. Even though it's not a movie, The West Wing.
No.
Okay, that's all I know him from.
All right, next actor, T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller. Oh wow. Let's go. What was that? She's out of my league or whatever it's called.
No.
It's really all. Oh, he was in Deadpool too. But yeah, I was like, what has he even been in? Okay, got
All
it.
right, next actor, Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. Give me Balls of Fury.
Nope.
Damn it.
All right, next actress, Melanie Linsky.
She's the cute one. I was from Yellow Jackets, right?
I haven't seen Yellow Jackets. It is this actress.
Yeah.
I'm showing Dan pictures.
Pictures. I got nothing. I'm thinking of Yellow Jackets. Next actor.
Rob Corddry.
Rob Corddry. Give me. Man. 2 community actors now. Give me Hot Tub Time Machine.
No. Next actor, Amy Schumer.
Ew.
Ew.
Ew. Easy. Trainwreck.
Nope. Next actress, Leslie Murphy.
Leslie Murphy. I got nothing.
All right. Next actress, Nancy Carroll.
I don't know who that is.
Nancy Carell. My bad.
Nancy Carell.
Nancy Carell.
Oh, easy. The Office.
No.
The Realtor.
Next actor, Rob Hubel.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Rob Hubel? I'm thinking of Rob Riggle. Who's Rob Hubel?
He's also from The Office. He is this guy.
Oh, yeah. He's actually...
He almost played Michael Scott.
He almost played Michael Scott. Trivia for you guys. Ended up playing Holly's boyfriend.
Yep.
At the Nashua
Andy?
branch.
No, that's not his name. Anyways.
Man, that's a lot of comedic actors, so I would assume this is a comedy. Hell Baby.
No.
Okay.
Next actress, Connie Britton.
I know her. She is a MILF. She is a MILF.
Friday Night Lights.
She was in Friday Night Lights. She was in American Horror Story,
Yeah.
season 1. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've seen this movie.
All right. Here are your top 2 billed actors.
Okay, here. This is last ditch effort. Here we go, guys.
Okay,
How
this
many of you guys are screaming at it going, I know this fucking movie? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keira Knightley
Keira Knightley.
and Steve Carell.
Oh, I've definitely not seen this. Keira Knightley and Steve Carell. I mean, I should have assumed he was in the movie when you said Nancy.
That's
Or,
true. Has she ever been in something he wasn't in? I don't know.
Goodness gracious. Is this, I have not seen this movie. I know what this movie is, though. I know those 2 main actors. I've seen the cover. Dan in Real Life? No, not Dan in Real Life. Something about the end of the world. Something about the end of the world. I don't know the title.
Seeking a Friend for the End of the World
yeah.
is the name of the movie.
I have never seen that movie.
I knew those first 2 actors, like, he's going to get, but isn't that a crazy list of actors?
Yeah, that's a lot of...
That's a lot of
yeah.
comedic and NBC actors like,
Right,
all
yeah.
in one place.
Yeah, true.
There's even more if you were to keep going. A lot of like deep cut actors from one-off episodes of the Community. I'm just like,
Sure, yeah.
I had no idea this cast list was so crazy. But
Yeah. Shout out. Yeah, I need to watch that one, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I got to add that to the rewatch list for myself because I was like, that's a crazy list. And I remember that movie being really good. And like, I liked it a lot.
Dang, yeah. I can't believe I've never seen it. There's actually a lot of... Speaking of Dan in Real Life, there's a lot of...
I haven't seen that one either.
a lot of Steve Carell stuff I haven't seen. I never saw Get Smart. I never saw... there's a bunch of stuff with him that I've never seen.
Yeah. Well, we've been watching Rooster.
Just Rooster.
Just Rooster? Yeah. Rooster on Rooster.
Rooster.
Rooster on HBO, which has Rory Scovel. That time I'm not Sorry, or that's his name. And we got to see him live. He's a stand-up comedian as well, and we like him a lot. And he's really good in that show. And Steve
top
Carell,
top 5 best sets I've ever seen.
100%.
Was seeing Rory Scovel's live stand-up show.
Top 2 for me.
I think it probably is for me too. It has to be. Yeah. I think he's top 2. He was fantastic, and I did. Yeah, me and Dave started watching Rooster. I texted him. He had already seen the show before me, the episodes that are out, and I was catching up. And I texted him. I said, "Hey, I finally started Rooster. I just want to say I think Rory Scovel might be the funniest person alive, and I need him to be in everything immediately."
Yeah. Well, the one right after him in my top 3 sets of comedy is another person that we have at times considered the funniest person alive, and that's Connor O'Malley, who is even Tim Robinson keeps calling him the funniest person in the world. But yeah, that's if you love Steve Carell, especially if you love him as like a goofball, comedy based actor, this is a really, really good series to watch for him, because he is just, I feel like he's like in his element of like this like 40-year-old virgin era of, you know what I'm saying? Or like even Crazy Stupid Love, which we talk about way too much on this podcast. But yeah, movie. Crazy Stupid Love. Like if you love that version of Steve Carell, you're gonna really enjoy Rooster. I really feel like I'm getting this like nostalgic vibe from him. And the show is really good too.
I mean, I'm getting a nostalgic vibe from the show. This like, I told Dave it reminds me of Community, because it is very television-y.
Yeah.
Like, modern day television is very different than what it used to be when it was on sitcoms and was on cable.
But yeah. Speaking of that, if you guys want to know some recs from me and Dan, some TV that we are watching. I know we don't talk a lot about TV on here, but Rooster is one of them. We've also been watching The Pit along with everyone else in the country and everyone who walks by us in the office, because they all want to stop and give us their opinion on The Pit because we're talking about it.
And Dave said that his entire algorithm right now has been taken over by Project Hail Mary. That's what's happening to me with The Pit and Nirvana the Band, the show. I cannot escape either of those projects right now. Like my entire Instagram feed is just The Pit stuff. It's crazy. Yeah.
I'm getting worried that by the time I buy the movie Project Hail Mary, there's not going to be enough on the Blu-ray to warrant. Unless people are talking about saying the first cut of the movie was 3.5 hours, and they're like, release the 3.5 hour cut on Blu-ray, you fucking cowards.
It was even longer. It was 4+.
4+? Yeah. I mean,
I saw that
however
quote.
Many more hours there are of the movie, people want that.
Yes.
And I was like, that's a really good way for physical media to stay relevant, is to do that. Like actually say, the 4-hour cut is on the Blu-ray. Yeah,
that's an interesting. Yeah, I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying like, "Please, I would watch this in a heartbeat." I'm not one of those people, but shout out to the people who are like, "Yeah,
I mean, I think I like physical media. I just got some more physical media movies, and I would be okay with that as a selling point for that. As like, here's what we're trying to do to make these things worth it, and for the manufacturers and for you guys.
Yeah, you got to get creative.
But yeah, so we're watching Rooster. We are watching The Pit, and we are watching. We watched all of a show on HBO called Neighbors. If you guys haven't checked out Neighbors, that is a reality show, actually. About real people. And it's been really good, and I'm excited for them to do more with that show.
Shout out to Harrison Fishman. Works very closely with Patty Harrison, one of the funniest people ever. Speaking of really funny people.
Yeah.
Very creative voice on that show. 6 episodes. That's it for season 1. So it's really short, easy to tackle. We finished Neighbors. We just finished The Chair Company.
The Chair Company, yes. Yeah, we watched
We're
all
late
of The
on
Chair
that
Company.
one.
We're very late on that one. We weren't ready to pay for HBO.
When they switched it up with the password sharing.
When they Netflixed us, I was so mad at them. I wasn't even willing to consider it. And then I went to a used movie store over here, and I saw that they were selling each season of The Sopranos for $14. And I was like, that's not bad. And then I was like, wait, I have to buy fucking 6 of these. I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
So, we are also binging The Sopranos because it's our mom's favorite show, and we're only 20 years behind. So we're getting caught up. But we don't talk a lot about TV on here. But me and Dan, when we are discussing, like when we sit down at lunch every day, or at Burger King, where did we say we work?
Burger King is where we work right now.
Where we say let's say Frank. There's a deep cut for you guys. There's a deep Wild Dream cut.
That
for
is
you
a deep. Let's say Frank.
Let's say Frank. That's what we are talking about every day. We're talking about The Pit and Rooster and The Chair Company every day right now. So That's the discussions we're having offline. So feel free to join us in on that. And if you guys want to get involved in the conversation, let us know what TV shows you're watching right now. Let us know how you felt about this movie if you went to go see it. Let us know what you thought of this episode if you listened. If you want more of a review of my opinions on the book versus the movie of Project Hail Mary, I could easily do an hour of it. I could easily do an hour.
You could put out a whole solo ep.
I swear to God I could.
Oh, yeah.
So don't fucking tempt me or tempt me.
Or tempt him.
Or tempt me. Don't tempt me with a good time.
I'm just saying, if everybody else has as much Project Hail Mary fever as the rest of the country does,
I will do it. I will do a whole episode on it.
Yeah, might be a good idea.
But yes, you guys can get involved in that conversation. We are at Wild Dream Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And we are at Wild Dream streaming and potentially new Taylor Tuesdays coming soon.
Yeah, we got some new stuff on the horizon.
If you're a Taylor fan, there might be some new stuff for you, and very casual streaming, where we're not playing high, fast-paced FPS games where most people don't even know what the fuck is going on. You can come and join us. We are at Wild Dream Stream on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And until next time, we love you guys. We kiss ya. Good night.